Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Q&A session with Professor Marcelo. It's always a pleasure to be here with you all to talk about this very important method, Lean Six Sigma. And please let me know how is my audio and how is my video. Please, mainly my audio. So please let me know. Du Bocosian, hello my friend. Hello my friend. Oh, wonderful. Hello Marva. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Yes, is my audio okay? Fernando, tudo bom? How are you, Fernando? Wonderful. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, as I said, it's always a pleasure. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here to talk about this fantastic method, Lean Six Sigma, so powerful. And I really love to take as many questions as possible to help you understanding the power and the beauty of Lean Six Sigma, because it really impacts your career very positively, very positively. And that's our main mission. Yeah, my main objective here talking about Lean Six Sigma with you all is to help you somehow to bring your career to the next level. Okay? Wonderful. So if you guys take a look on this, Edu Bogosian, he's a very famous guy in Brazil, you know? Yeah, and he produces very good. If you had a chance to be certified as a white belt with me, on session 3, I was wearing a shirt from my friend, you know, from his company, Edu Bogosian. Yeah, very famous. You know, I am the least, I am the least popular one to wear his shirt. Only, you know, artists and soccer players, and they wear, you know, Bogosian. And I had a chance to get one from him. And on top of that, he plays soccer very well. I am still trying to learn how to play soccer with Edu Bogosian. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Edu, to have you here. Okay, my friend. Thank you so much. And congratulations for the amazing work that you are doing in your company. Okay, hello, Andri, how are you? Hello from Albania. That's amazing. So please type here for me. Where are you right now? Where are you? Juninho, how are you, Juninho? Tudo bom? Beleza? Where are you now? So you are taking this class from which country? Please type here for me. And once again, I hope mainly my audio. I don't know if my video is okay. Hopefully, yes. I am on last week I had a conference in Amsterdam, a mini tab conference, and I am still out of Brazil. So I am flying back to Brazil on Saturday. So next week I'll be back to my office with the entire, you know, with the full set of instruments, you know, to conduct these classes. Yeah, so we have people from Angola, from Ethiopia, from Greece, from Argentina, from South Africa, from Ethiopia again, from Germany. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. From Morocco. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you so much. Madagascar, Brazil. We have Mexico. We have Peru. Thank you so much, guys. So once again, feel free to type here your question. Okay, I am kind of creating a parking lot for questions. If you want to DM me or if you want to send me an email, that's okay. So I'll be addressing the questions that I got via email first, and then after that I'll go to the questions. Oops. That I have here, okay? So the first question I got is related to Lean Six Sigma versus design for Six Sigma. So just a quick review. Lean Six Sigma is really about solving complex problems, yes? So problems that the causes are not simple to be identified, right? And these kind of problems you can find in all organizations. Yeah, so that's why Lean Six Sigma has to do with employability improvement, because if you are being capable of solving a kind of problem that you can find anywhere in all corporations, you, at the end of the day, you are being more employable, right? Excellent. And it's really a junction of two methods, Six Sigma and Lean. People that are experts in, like the Lean guys, they don't like very much when we say that Lean is a method. So if you prefer a philosophy, if you prefer a way of thinking, that's okay too. But it's really Lean Six Sigma, it's really the combination of these two pillars. Six Sigma created in Motorola 1980s, and Lean Six Sigma, this combination, this proposal of a combination, literature points to 2001, yeah, on a book named Leaning into Six Sigma, yeah, perfect. And again, the objective is to solve complex problems. We call these structural problems or chronic problems. Yes, perfect. 1980s, Six Sigma. No doubt that GE was by far one of the companies that better used the Six Sigma method. Okay, Six Sigma, no doubt, because your CEO at that time, Jack Welch, understood the importance of taking the method, really touching as many areas as possible in corporation, in the organization. Beautiful. So in the 1990s, GE realized that Six Sigma with the classic DMAIC workflow, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, was not very much applicable when you had to create something from scratch. So imagine that you need to create something absolutely new, a process or a product from scratch, from zero, because you still don't have a problem to solve. It's impossible to measure because, again, you don't have a process, you don't have a product. So what kind of method can we use to create processes and products that will be born operating at the Six Sigma level? That's the idea. So that's when Design for Six Sigma was created, 1990s in GE. Okay, many people think that Design for Six Sigma was created by Motorola, but no. Six Sigma was created by Motorola, Bill Smith, but Design for Six Sigma was created in GE, yeah? And again, the idea of Design for Six Sigma is to maximize the chances of creating new products and new processes on a Six Sigma level. That's why we used to joke that if all Design for Six Sigma projects, worked perfectly, we would have really the famous zero defect at the end of the day. Yes, but we know that we are right now on a planet full of imperfection, yeah, and that's why we call continuous improvement, because there will be always room for improvement. Again, there will be always some room for improvement. We need to be very careful in prioritizing the problems to be solved, because if you do not touch the most important problems to be solved, you can operate on one of the worst types of waste, that is over processing, yeah, adding a lot of value to things that are not directly connected to what clients are willing to pay. Yeah, one of the worst types of waste, over processing. Yeah, so going back there, Design for Six Sigma, 1990s, created by GE, with this idea of helping, the process of creation of new products and new processes. Yeah, it's very interesting because for Six Sigma, the classic Six Sigma, we have just one framework: DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And if you are at least a white belt student, a certified white belt, you know what is DMAIC about. For Design for Six Sigma, we do not have only one framework. That's very interesting. You will find on literature different frameworks. You know, one of them that I like the most is IDDOV. Yes, identify not the problem, the opportunity. Because again, we are talking about new processes, new products. So the opportunity to create something from scratch, to meet a client need, yeah, or a client or a list of client needs, right? IDDOV. Identify. Then there is a second step named define, that in fact it's to translate the VOC, voice of the customer, into measurable parameters that we call CTQ, critical to client. And then you design, but you will be thinking in different concepts, different ways to meet the CTQs that are connected to the voice of the customer. That's beautiful, right? Because normally, inventors, designers, they love to create things that are more connected to themselves. And this is normally a problem. Yeah, because new products, new processes, they need to meet client demand. They need to meet VOC, voice of the customer, and not voice of the designer, voice of the creator. Yeah, this is very serious. This is very serious. Yeah, this is the top one reason for failure. Yeah, in design projects, not properly listening to the voice of the customer. Sometimes we just guess. Yeah, what clients want versus listening to the voice of the customer. And it's interesting, if you are my green belt student, you know that there are different voices of the customer. There is what we call spoken voice of the customer. Yeah, that voice that is really expressed by customers. I did not like this charger. You know, for example, I like this charger, but let's suppose, you know, a customer is complaining about the cable. I don't know, I think I would need a more flexible cable, you know. It is a spoken voice of the customer. So you can address specifically this problem or this improvement opportunity. But not always the voice will come to us in this format, yeah? And in reality, the majority of the times, it will not come as a spoken voice of the customer. It will come as an unspoken voice of the customer. Yeah, on the two extremes, very basic things, yeah, and very special things. So very basic things, I am talking, for example, in terms of safety. I would never express that, please, I want to buy. Imagine that I just came in on a store, on an electronics store, and I said, please, I want a charger, but a charger that when I plug, yeah, it does not explode. I would never ask that. It is kind of, we call this must be or must have. Yeah, this is mandatory. This is non-negotiable, right? And the same thing on the other extreme. Yeah, when we think in very, very special things that we call the delighters, according to Professor Kennel from Kennel model, we call these delighters, yes? So very, very, very important, very important. We need to listen to the voice of the customer. This is maybe the most important pillar in both worlds, in continuous improvement, like classic Six Sigma projects, and also in this innovation environment, yeah, creation of new processes and new products. Beautiful. So identify, IDDOV, identify, define, like translate the VOC into measurable parameters, The third one is design. Then let's think in terms of different concepts to meet the voice of the customer. And then we optimize, yeah, because we'll be selecting one or more winning concepts. And then we can either prioritize and select just one winning concept, or maybe combine different winning concepts and to find, you know, what we call hybrid concept or super concept. Yeah. So identify, define, design, optimize, and then we verify. This is funny because this is very interesting. When you optimize a winning concept, sometimes we change characteristics in the concept in a way that it does not fully meet the voice of the customer anymore. Because you in the optimization processes, sometimes you change important characteristics in the product or in the process, and it's not exactly connected to the voice of the customer anymore. Yeah, wonderful. So this first question came from Hussein, and I don't know if he's here online or if he's watching this session recorded. Yeah, but I hope this answer helped you. His question was, what's the main difference between Six Sigma and design for Six Sigma? Yeah. In fact, his original question was a little bit different, but then we expanded to design for Six Sigma. Yeah. I do have other questions. Let me just open up. I don't have from the top of my mind, but let me open up here and see if I can quickly address the other questions. And once again, feel free to send me here your questions, and I'll do all my best to reply back. Okay, beautiful. So this question is from Adenik. Thank you so much for sending. Okay, I don't know if you are here online. Oh, that's great, Hussein. Please let me know if the answer was okay. Okay, how to check the credibility of the certificate, please? Wafi, you can see at the bottom left there is an authenticity code. Okay, so this authenticity code is your certificate DNA. So you can either show this to the employer, yeah, and if the employer needs any additional information, you know, to check the credibility of the certificate, you guys can email us at support@mftreinamentos.com. Okay. So since Lean Six Sigma talks about reducing waste variations, can a goal statement be about increasing natural gas production from 30,000 to 85,000? Adenik, yes, you can have a CTQ, critical to quality, or why, what you want to solve, as a productivity improvement. Okay, but be very careful. Be very careful in taking this kind of CTQ, and I'll tell you why. Because again, we are talking about continuous improvement. Yeah, so the most classic projects will be touching percentage of defective units going down. Yeah. Or number of defects going down, lead time reduction. Yeah, the two classic, if I had to point two classic types of Lean Six Sigma projects, I would say percentage of defective items and time, mainly lead time reduction. Okay, can you run a project about increasing, production, like number of units per hour, yeah, or any other dimension per hour? Yes, but you need to be very careful. Why? because we are talking about continuous improvement. So you cannot simply increase capacity. Yeah, because then it's not fair. Let's suppose you have you have three machines that are producing 30,000 per hour. Anything per hour. Let's suppose cheese bread, Brazilian cheese bread per hour. Yeah, 30,000 Brazilian cheese breads per hour. If you, instead of three machines, now you have 8 machines, and then your production rate, number of cheese breads per hour, more than, it's almost triple, you almost tripled the production rate, in quotes, just because you bought more equipment. So your capacity increased because now you have more machines or more people, then we don't count this as a continuous improvement project, and for sure not as a Lean Six Sigma project. No. Okay, but let's suppose you had a chance to map your processes, you were able to identify waste, then you fought these wastes, you were able to reduce, to minimize, sometimes even to eliminate some waste points, and then because of that your productivity increased, with the same resources, you increased your productivity rate, your production rate. So your the concept of productivity is output divided by resources. Yeah. So if you were able to really touch, the denominator in terms of reducing waste, beautiful, wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. I don't know if you are online here, Adenik. If yes, please let me know if it makes sense. Okay. I saw that you sent few other questions. I'll quickly touch, one or more. Let's see here. Are there cases where the voice of the business is used for a project, or do we try to translate the VOB with that of the... No, sometimes the VOC is the VOB. Sometimes your customer is an internal customer. So VOB can be your VOC. Yeah? Perfect. Does Minitab save the brush rows for further analysis? No. So you need to select, the data points that you are interested, and then run your analysis. If you can brush, then you can ask Minitab to extract the data, and then you can save your worksheets. Then okay. But if you just close Minitab, then you will lose the brushed data point. Okay. When calculating the upper limit and lower limit using the mean, you mentioned the upper limit is mean plus 3 times the standard deviation, and mean minus 3 times standard deviation. With box plots using interquartile range is the same. No, it is not. So Boxplot uses a different way to calculate the limits. Okay, a different way. Yeah, for control charts, we do calculate upper control limit and lower control limit based on the data points. Yeah, and then it's pretty much mean plus 3 times standard deviation of the population. So you need to estimate, and it really depends on the type of control chart you are using. Yeah, if you are I think you are my GB student, right? I think. If yes, you'll find that on a control chart session. Okay, yeah. And for Boxplot, it's a different conversation. You have the interquartile range. You need to multiply by a factor, yeah, and then 1.5, and then you'll be taking the what we call quartile 1 Q1, Yeah, first quartile. And then you'll be using this interquartile range times 1.5 Q1 minus this, and Q3, the 30 quartile, plus interquartile range plus times 1.5. So it's a little bit different, yeah. Does this method have 95% confidence level attached? Yeah, in fact, for the control charts, when you take 3 standard deviations to one side, 3 to another, it's more than 95. Yeah, it's 99.73. Yeah, it is more. Bruno, if there are no outliers in a beautiful box plot, lady, does that mean it is not really valuable? It depends. Sometimes you don't want. Yeah, sometimes if you are checking, for example, even knowing that Boxplot has not to do exactly with process stability, you have a flavor, when you are running a Boxplot and you don't see any outliers. Yes, because again, special causes, control charts, outliers, Boxplot, and there's another thing that's very interesting. When you see a symmetric box plot, it means very likely you have a normal probability distribution. Yeah, very likely. It has to do. You have a flavor of the symmetry of the distribution. Yeah. In one of the quizzes, why is the answer of the statement Boxplot always presents mean? Yeah, because see, Boxplot does not present mean as default. Yeah, Boxplot presents median. That's why we call Boxplot as a non-parametric graphical tool. Yeah. You can add, depending on the software, for example, Minitab, you can add a mean, but by default, Boxplot will present a median. Yeah, very useful. Ô, Michele, e aí? Você tá gostando? Tá vendo? Michele is my green belt student. So wonderful. Denique, thank you so much for your questions. Hussein, I have invited by my university to present a lecture about Six Sigma and its ability to be applied in BPM. Oh, bravo! When I see my students shining, my heart just boom explodes. And because of this, Hussein, we'll be celebrating together. Hussein is my student, my green belt student. He's a certified green belt, and he's also a professor, and he got this. He got an invitation, at the university to talk about Lean Six Sigma, and I am so happy for you, Hussein. Okay. I need to play like this so I can fit in the screen. wonderful. Congratulations, Hussein. Congratulations. I'm very happy. When these kind of things happen, it's kind of closing full circle, you know? Yeah, so I can feel really, really, really grateful for the opportunity of being here with you all, okay? Greenly, we are talking a lot about Agile Scrum in many organizations. Is there a connection to Lean Six Sigma? Absolutely, because you can run many demake cycles using the Agile mentality, you know, Agile mentality. Yeah, mainly, for example, the concept of MVP. So we do not, we fight analysis paralysis. Yeah. Another way to see Agile combining with Lean Six Sigma is on improve phase. So when you have your root causes identified and validated and you jump into the solutions, you can again apply the Agile mindset for sure. Yeah. Thanks for your question. Marva, in defined phase and in goal statement, we have to benchmark to compare with. You explain an equation baseline, gap to reach an achievable goal. Can you please explain us another example? Yeah, there are. This is kind of tricky. This is a little bit tricky because, you know, I love to play soccer. If I am considering, you know, a benchmark, I don't know, maybe I will focus on Vinicius Junior, yeah, that plays for Real Madrid. But his performance is so far away from my performance. He plays so much better than me that his benchmark is, if I place him as a benchmark, if I use him in the benchmarking process, I'll be failing in one of the dimensions of SMART. You know, a goal must be specific, measurable, achievable. It will not be achievable, yeah? Achievable, relevant, or result-oriented, and time-bound. So, I hope this simple ludic example helped you, okay, Marva? And there is a kind of calculation. It's just, you know, a general estimation. That is, you can take the difference. So let's suppose my soccer level is, on a scale from 0 to 10, is 1, and Vinicius Junior is 10. I take the difference 9 and apply a coefficient of 70%, 70. Yeah. So 9 times 70%, it would be something around 8.1, right? 8.1. And it seems for me, no, not 8.1, 6.4, I'm sorry, 6.4, yeah? 6.4, yeah. 9 is the difference, and then 70% of that, yeah, of that. So 6.3. So my target would be 1 plus 6.3. Yeah, my target would be 7.3. But again, if my soccer level is 1, according to number of other factors, my age, my natural capability, you know, if I set my new target as 7.3, this is too much. You know, this is too much. So please let me know if that was helpful, okay? Sometimes in order to define a target, remember that a goal is a project charter is a living document. Project charter is a living document. So you can update as many times as you need, as long as you align with champion and you align with all stakeholders. Yes? Beautiful, beautiful. So you can define a target, a goal, and update according to the progress of your project. For sure, mainly when you reach analyze phase, when you have your root cause identified. Professor, are your certification programs body of knowledge in the line of ASQ since you are a master black belt with ASQ? They are aligned, okay? But one thing that I always love to reinforce is our certification follows the recommendation from ASQ, but it is not an ASQ certification. Your certification is by Marcelo Fernandes, treinamentos, training, okay? But yes, it is aligned. It is aligned. Wonderful. Wagner, how are you, Wagner? Let me see if we have other questions here. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Empathizing customer needs. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. It's very similar to design thinking. Yes. Let me see. Wonderful. I'm great. Thank you so much, Varmon. Thank you so much for asking. I am doing great. Nairobi. Thank you very much. The difference between hard savings and soft savings and cost avoidance. That's a great question. So hard savings, when you can easily, when you can easily translate into some impact, measurable impact into, for example, cash flow, you know? So when you are spending every month $10,000 because you are scrapping units, and then after a Lean Six Sigma project, you don't have these scraps anymore, and you are not spending, you are not wasting 10K anymore with these scraps, do you agree that there will be a direct impact? For example, in terms of material, you need to buy, you not need to buy the same amount of material. For example, just to give a very simple example, hard savings. I have a very sad example for hard savings as well. When you have 10 FTEs, full-time equivalent, 10 people, and then you lay off 3, you know. So your payroll is different next month. It's different. There is a reduction, right? Hard savings, soft savings, when you increase productivity, but the demand did not increase. So remember the first question that I asked here. Imagine that now we have the capacity to produce many more parts, you know, but we don't have demand for that. And because we don't have demand for that, the capacity is there, but again, we are not translating these into dollars. Yeah, so soft savings. Or if we increased capacity, but we did not eliminate any position, you know, soft savings as well. Cost avoidance. So we were planning, at Delphi to buy a laser welding machine, and then we realized that it would not be necessary anymore, not anymore. So it was planned to spend that amount of money, I don't know, $200,000, but because of a process improvement project, it was not necessary anymore. Yeah, so we were able to avoid this $2,000 cost, right? Please let me know if that was helpful. I had the pleasure to take the white belt. Such a fantastic experience. Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you so much. So we have people from Macedonia, from Kenya, Sudan. On the define phase, goal statement. When we achieve goal, you describe an equation. When we look, okay, so this one I think I have already replied back. Yeah, wonderful. Let me see. I hope I didn't miss any questions here. Will there be a Lean Six Sigma black belt in English anywhere soon? That's a great question. Hope yes. Hopefully yes. At this point, we have a black belt certification only in Portuguese. Only in Portuguese. Hopefully yes. Hopefully yes. Definitely. I'm glad to know you are interested. Yeah. Wonderful. How does variability work in a system where both items in a system can work? How does variability works? How does variability in a system where both items... I don't know if I got your question. Yeah. Abby, would you mind rephrasing it for me, please? I don't know if you are talking about two different items. If you have two different items, then we are not talking about variability. We are talking about diversity. Yeah? Yeah, and variability, we are always talking about this very same item. Very same item. Yeah, so if I am talking about, let's suppose, the production of a card, yeah, that's one thing. A production of a sanitizing toilet, yeah, it's a completely, so I cannot put on the same control chart, same capability analysis, the weight of these two products. I cannot. I need to run a project for one item only for the card. Yeah, it's just that the basic rule is one product or one family of products. They need to be minimally similar, to each other. Otherwise, we'll be increasing variation when in fact we should not be increasing. Yeah. Yeah, we cannot place again in the same control chart cheese bread and hot dog. We cannot. This is a huge mistake. Yeah. Thank you, Sai. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any tips, advice on how to overcome resistance when trying to implement the Lean Six Sigma program in industry? That's a great question, Lumi. That's a great question. I have two main recommendations, okay? Two main recommendations. My first recommendation is you need to listen to, you need to be very well connected to the leadership. And I know that sometimes it is not easy to get the attention, to get the sponsorship, to have the real support from the leadership. I know. They have a lot of things to do. Sometimes they are not that friendly. I know, I understand that. Sometimes there are power games, there are politics, there are many different variables to control, right? I know that. But you need somehow to connect to the senior leadership and get their buy-in, their real support. Because if you have their buy-in, if they really buy your project, your idea, the program, the strategy, the Lean Six Sigma as a strategy, it will be so much easier than you trying to run isolated projects. I definitely do not recommend you to run isolated projects. So you need to invest time, energy, you need to build a strategy. It has to do with PPM, Project Portfolio Management. If you are my Greenbelt student, in our Greenbelt certification program, I do share an article, a paper about my PhD thesis that has to do with PPM, Project Portfolio Management, for Six Sigma. How can you listen to the VOB, the voice of the business, and connect your project or your program to the business strategy? This is vital. This is vital. This is so, so, so important. Okay, so that would be my my main recommendation. My second recommendation is your first project is critical. It has to do with that conversation about first impression, you know. So your first project is very critical. Very much, very much, very much. So it's very important that as soon as, and they are sequential, first of all, to get the buy-in from the leadership. And for example, many authors say that if you don't have the buy-in from the senior leadership, you should just look for another company, for another opportunity in another place. Yeah, don't waste your time with any operational excellence initiative if it is not connected to the leadership, yeah, to the business strategy, because the risk is way too high, way too high. Yeah, and the second one is your first project is extremely critical. Yeah, extremely critical, because again, it has to do with the first impression. Yeah, please let me know if that makes sense. Thank you, Hussein. I'm glad to know that. Thank you. Fala, Matheus. Beleza? Fortalece. Oh, Michele, I miss you too. I miss you too. Yes, I'll be very likely. We are, yeah, very likely. Few students are asking about the lives in Portuguese, and yeah, I'll very likely be running them. Yeah, for sure. Because one thing that comes to my heart is that English is very, 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 very important. Because Lean Six Sigma is truly international. You can work anywhere, anywhere in the planet. And so I feel motivated. You know, I hope it inspires my friends in Brazil to, yeah. And many concepts, Lean Six Sigma concepts are like the words, the expressions are we still use in English, like SIPOC, like PMAP, process mapping, yeah. But we'll be definitely, yeah, finding the optimal the optimal strategy, you know, to address my friends in Brazil for sure. Yeah. So we have participants from Congo. That's amazing. Thank you, Professor. Now I have a clear understanding of the variability aspect. I am so glad to know that, Abby. I am so glad to know that. Yeah, this is a very good point, Abby. Very, very, very good point. Yeah, very good point. I don't know if this is too technical, but the second most frequent reason for not having normal probability distributions, for failing in normality test. The first one is measurement system analysis, you know, when you don't have a good measurement system. The second one is segmentation, Abby. Segmentation. When you put like apples and oranges in the same basket. Yeah. Because then you have what we call bimodal, you know, distribution. You have like two normal probability distributions, you know, And then we need to segment. Sometimes just by segmenting, you fix your normality problem, you know. Two different machines. Sometimes it happens. It's the same product, but two different machines, two different shifts, two different operators, sometimes two different suppliers. Yeah. What else? What else? Questions? That's great, Lumi. I'm glad to know that. Flávio, valeu, Flávio. Obrigado, irmão. Any questions? Questions? Amazing. Guys, once again, it's always a pleasure to be here. Normally, I plan to spend here like 30 minutes. Let me just open up for a Q&A, for 30 minutes and to answer a few questions. But you guys are so engaging that I always spend, spend more time. It's amazing. Saying using very simple, let me touch a very simple example, and I'll try to connect with TOC, theory of constraints. Okay, and again, I'm taking your question and expanding a little bit. I hope you don't mind. So I am serving a combo, and in this combo we have cheese bread, we have coffee, and we have dulce de leche, caramel, doce de leite. Then at some point in the process, we have parallel activities. The preparation of cheese bread, the preparation of coffee, and the preparation of caramel, Okay, so let's suppose the cycle time for cheese bread is 3 minutes, coffee 30 seconds, or 1 minute, and caramel 30 seconds. I mean, there is no reason for us running continuous improvement projects here. For example, to reduce the cycle time for coffee or for caramel. In fact, if we run projects to reduce the cycle time here and here, this is pure waste. Because in these 3 parallel activities, we have one link that is the most sensitive one. It is really the one that deserves, the majority of our attention. And again, if we do not concentrate our energy in general on the bottleneck, on the link that presents the majority of the fragility, to use a very simple word. We need to concentrate there, and then we'll feel, we will be feeling the improvement. If we touch the other two paths, Zero, 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 zero. So it has to do with prioritization. It has to do with Pareto. Yeah, these concepts are beautifully connected. Beautifully connected. Yeah. And it has to do with critical paths. Yeah. And we can expand this conversation even to project management. Yeah, even to project management. When we talk about the project lead time, project cycle time. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. What's the best way to make quick gains, low hanging fruits? Again, listening to the VOB, voice of the business, listening to the VOC, voice of the customer, internal and external customers, and plotting. Plot all these opportunities on impact effort matrix. Impact effort matrix. And please concentrate on the projects, on the improvement opportunities that are in this quadrant of high impact in terms of VOB and VOC, and low impact and low effort. High impact and low effort. Low effort, it doesn't mean we are being lazy. It's not. We are just optimizing the usage of our resources. Yeah, so we can take more. We can put more in our plate. Yeah. Beautiful. This efficiency of production system calculated with respect to it can be associated to takt time. Yeah, it can be takt time. You must have available time, and you must have demand, and you must connect these two elements together. Otherwise, you cannot balance your production flow. Yeah. We have to find critical paths first. We have to. Otherwise, the risk of touching things that are not priority is too high, Hussein. It's too high. Yeah. And then we maximize the chances of wasting time, wasting energy, yeah, wasting resources. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to have this conversation with you all. As you can see, I am here improvising. I am not in Brazil. I'm flying back to Brazil next Saturday. Yeah. So next week I'll be back to my office with my entire full set, of equipment to run these conversations here with you all. But I hope you enjoy this Q&A session. I am very, very happy to know that you are using this opportunity to learn more about this fantastic method that has completely changed my career, my professional life, and the lives of many. At this point, I'm glad to say that it has positively changed the lives of thousands of students across the globe. So thank you very much for being here live with me. It's always a pleasure. And let's keep in touch. Let's stay together, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Ilunga. Thank you, Tsi. Thank you, Vikan. Thank you, Hussein. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you.